Foreign direct investment is key to bolstering Thailand's economy, where Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin has vowed to implement an economic stimulation package swiftly to pull the country out of the economic doldrums. Foreign business leaders suggest political stability and clear regulations for investors are just as important. In an interview with Thai PBS World, Vibeke Lee Songlawa, chairwoman of the Joint Foreign Chamber of Commerce, emphasized that the digital wallet policy could help the local economy, but transparency in the implementation of this policy is crucial.
It will have to be fully digital and fully transparent, which may cause some challenges, in particular for the elderly. It will create more domestic buying power. But again, I think that we have to be mindful that it's done very transparently.
In addition to the digital wallet scheme, the visa-free policy for Chinese and Kazakhstani citizens could help revitalize Thailand's tourism industry. LaRocque suggested that the government should also deal with the complicated visa regulations for exhibitors in the meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, or MICE sector, which generates vital income from global business travel.
The government will try to do a fast-track visa for exhibitors, which is very good. But they also should not forget about the fact that in order to set up a booth at one of those exhibitions and to sell your products there, there is still a need in some areas for a work permit. So they need to look at both visa and work permit for this.
The Joint Foreign Chamber of Commerce, an umbrella organization with more than 9,000 companies as members, hopes that Prime Minister Srettha can make speedy moves to digitalize platforms, reform regulation, and reshape education.
One thing that is really time-consuming is that every ministry works separated. So digitalizing the government with the whole government, so with only one single sign-on. What that I mean is that when you sign on, you can enter to all ministries. Education is not just education where you go to school and then you graduate and you get a job. Education is all the way through the system, so lifelong learning is important. Educating or reskill, upskill, or new skill for the new target industries will be important.
The chairwoman stressed that dealing with the problems resulting from climate change is important if Thailand is to maintain its competitiveness. Thailand will not be able to stay competitive in comparison with neighboring countries if Srettha's government does not seriously tackle the environmental issues.
Without the government commitment to a net zero greenhouse gas, I think Thailand will definitely not be competitive with other countries. So a clear clean air policy as an example. And I think the goal is to implement this by 2065. I think that's a bit too far away. Let's cut down the time and let's show real commitment to it.
Another much talked about policy of Pheu Thai, the ruling party, is the pledge to push for a minimum monthly wage of 25,000 baht for bachelor degree holders, which, however, was not included in the policy statement Prime Minister Srettha delivered to Parliament this week. LaRocque highlighted that the government should be cautious in implementing this policy, which requires consultation with the private sector.
We shouldn't always look at just the salary, but we should also look at the productivity. Because increase in salary is fine if productivity goes up, but at the moment productivity is not a focus. So I believe we need to be mindful to how we implement this, that it's done over time, and I think businesses will work with the government to see that this is done so that we can still stay competitive. And in particular for SME, I think this is something that is important, because to take an increase from what has been campaigned with, to take that increase from in a short time will be very difficult.
Given challenges ahead, LaRocque still has full confidence in Thailand in terms of the strength in its economy. LaRocque said the cooperation between the government and the private sector could reinforce Thailand's economic power. She also urged the new government to come up with more incentives to attract foreign investment. Frank Kanshi reporting for Thai PBS World.